In our digital world, we are absolutely surrounded by threats. So, what's our most crucial line of defense? Well, welcome to this explainer. I'm your AI security guide, and today we are going to find the answer to that very question.
Now, you're probably thinking the answer is some kind of complicated antivirus software, or maybe a futuristic firewall you'd see in a movie. But the reality is, it's something way more fundamental. That's right, your OS. It's not just the software that runs your apps, it's your primary defense. Your choice of operating system can literally be the difference between a digital fortress and an open door for attackers. So how in the world do we choose the right one?
Okay, let's dive in. To find our champion, we need a fair fight, right? So we're going to judge each contender on 4 key security factors: how it handles user permissions, how fast it gets updates, its attack surface, and whether its code is open or closed source.
First up into the gauntlet is the most dominant desktop operating system on the planet, Windows. I mean, it's everywhere, on millions and millions of computers. But what does that ubiquity really mean for its security?
So on one hand, Windows has come a long, long way. It now has some pretty powerful built-in tools like Windows Defender that offer a solid layer of protection. But here's the huge trade-off. Its massive market share makes it target number 1. And it's not just about being popular. Some historical design choices that put user-friendliness over strict security have left a legacy that attackers are still taking advantage of today.
Next up, we have Mac OS. It's known for that polished design and, that reputation for being safer than its main rival. Let's see how it actually holds up under the microscope.
A lot of macOS's strength really comes from its secure foundation. It's got great features that control which apps can be installed, and it isolates programs from each other so they can't mess with the rest of your system. But there's a catch. It's a completely closed system. That means only Apple's internal teams can check the code for flaws. And for security experts, that lack of transparency, that's a major drawback.
Our third contender is kind of the granddaddy of many modern systems, an operating system known for its incredible stability: Unix. This is the silent workhorse that's running behind so much of our critical infrastructure.
Unix is an absolute security heavyweight. Its entire architecture is built around a philosophy of super strict permission controls, which makes it incredibly robust and stable. But that same rigidity also makes it less flexible and, honestly, far less common for everyday desktop use in today's world.
And that brings us to our final contender, an open-source powerhouse built from the ground up by a global community with security and customization at its very heart: Linux. So here's the game changer with Linux: its nature. Being open source means anyone, anywhere, can look at its code for weaknesses. It's incredibly customizable, and it is the undisputed king for people who live and breathe security, from the defenders building firewalls to the ethical hackers testing them. Really, its only downside is that it can be a bit of a steeper learning curve if you're new to it.
Now, let's just forget opinions for a second and look at the hard data. This chart really visualizes that attack surface we talked about, and it's staggering. A massive 95% of all malware is specifically designed to target Windows systems. By contrast, Linux and Unix systems combined, they're the target for only 1% of malware. The numbers really do speak for themselves here.
And this table perfectly illustrates why that 1% figure is so low. In the open source world of Linux, you have a global community of developers, thousands of eyes constantly checking the code. When a flaw is found, it's often patched at lightning speed. Closed source systems have to rely on their internal teams and often wait for scheduled updates, which can leave a window of vulnerability open for way longer.
This constant battle between attackers and defenders brings us right to the field of ethical hacking. These are the good guys who get paid to think like the bad guys, all to find and fix security flaws before the real criminals can. And to do their job, they need the absolute best, most secure, and most powerful tools available.
So when you think about the most demanding security tasks, from powering the world's web servers to performing these complex penetration tests, the professionals, the people who dedicate their entire lives to this stuff, have already made a very clear choice.
So let's get to the final scoreboard and see how this all stacks up. Based on all our criteria, Linux comes out on top with a perfect 5-star rating. Unix is right behind it with 4 stars for its raw stability. Mac OS gets a respectable 3 stars, while Windows, mainly because it's such a massive target, lands at 2 stars.
So the verdict is in.
For any serious work in cybersecurity, it doesn't matter if you're defending a network or ethically hacking it to find weak spots. The flexibility, the transparency, and the community-driven security of Linux just make it the superior choice. Period.
And for those of you out there who want to take the next step, the leading version of Linux specifically designed for penetration testing and security auditing is Kali Linux. It comes preloaded with hundreds of specialized tools, making it the absolute industry standard.
So, the final question I'll leave you with is this. Is the operating system you use every single day truly ready for the fight? Security always begins with the right foundation, because in the digital world, that first choice you make is your best defense.